I'm absolved. I'm not going to do that again. 3 days later, oh man, I need them little boys and that cocaine. And it's like... better system in place, somebody like Hitler would not have risen to power. Right. He'd have just been a bigot in a tavern yelling about the Jews, which is... How many of those are there in Alton? I mean, come on. I've been to bars, and I've heard people yelling about the Jews. It's crazy.
My ex took me to Night Train one time, and that was not the space for me. Yeah,
there was some real Nazi presence there.
And they see a white girl with a nose ring and colored hair in there, and they're automatically...
The Sadistic Souls liberal. Motorcycle Club? Yeah, no, they did not like me. So at the same time, like, this is going to air after Thanksgiving, but I'm about to spend Thanksgiving with a queer polycule, actually. Yeah. And it's some of the most loving people I've ever met in my entire life. They check in on everyone's allergies. They have everything you could ever need. There's so much love. They do a clothing swap. They do all sorts of just community-based things for a lot of people. And like, there are people there who have like rich families and they have like PhDs. And then there's people there who are like blue collar, like might have been abandoned by their families. And it doesn't matter. It's like this and it reminds me of the way the way the early church was lionized to me as a Catholic school kid. Like this idea of people gathering together, sharing food, sharing love, sharing experiences, having a place, having a sanctuary, having a meeting spot for ideas to be shared and love to be had. And I'm like, this is exactly what was going on in like
Acts chapter 2. What you just described is almost word for word.
Yeah, just people gathering together, and it's not religious. There are a few people who are religious. Like there's somebody down there who has like a PhD in theology who's like a devout Christian, and there's somebody down there who's Jewish. There's somebody down there who's an ex-Mormon, and they all just gather together and we kick it, and it's a lot of fun, and it's very beautiful, and it's like some of the best community I've ever seen.
Can I come to your Thanksgiving? It sounds better than...
I mean, so like, do you ever listen to the satanic metal?
I don't know that I've gotten that far. Like, I wouldn't turn it off.
I was going to say...
I would listen.
There is a Greek band called Rotting Christ. Oh, yeah, there's also like Pig Destroyer, Cattle Decapitation, Cannibal Corpse, like...
Cannibal Corpse, I
like Christian metal that you hear a band Tourniquet, I think back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Whenever I picture Christian...
I was like Norma Jean.
Norma Jean's cool.
As Cities Burn.
As Cities Burn's one of my favorites.
I actually just got to meet them in Kansas City.
God, they're this
month back.
What?
The album they made after their friend died, the one that has clouds on it.
Yes.
One of my favorite albums of all time, actually.
Same.
Really.
What kind of music is this?
It's like post-hardcore.
Okay.
It's kind of like if Under Oath were better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really it's kind of like in between Under Oath and Law Dispute. Ooh,
so,
do you like Me Without You then?
Me Without You was my favorite band for the longest time.
Hell yeah, I love Me Without You. My favorite band's The Weaker Thans.
Okay.
They're a fun little Canadian leftist group.
I definitely know who they are.
You've never wavered on this. Your love of the Weaker Thans is strong. And I love that.
One of my ex-girlfriends hit me up and she's like, it's 2016, you're sad, you're listening to the Weaker Thans and drinking port.
And back when I was a studio artist, it was Bush Light and the Weaker Thans.
Oh, okay, yeah, there it is. And then I'm like, it's 2020, I'm sad, I'm drinking port, I'm listening to the Weaker Thans. And then she's like, hey, it's 2025 on the first day of the year. And I was like, guess what I'm doing? Listening to the Weaker Thans and drinking port and being sad. So,
and Emery did a show in Kansas City as Cities Burn open for him. Got to meet both. They're amazing dudes. Showed up to a Me Without You show. I was the first person there at the show. This was when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. They came out of there like... what was it? the grease from McDonald's was used to run the fuel for their bus.
What?
And they like hopped off the bus, and I was like, man, I'm talking with my friend. I'm saying I'm so hungry. I skipped a meal so I could get here. And the dude went back on the bus and brought me out like a box of granola bars and was just like, here, and threw a ball to another person. They hopped a fence and went and played catch. And I was like,
maybe that juice good.
They're the people. I love them.
Yeah, holy shit. All right, yeah, so like very similar music tastes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fun. I'm also a big Replacements guy. So, and
short story.
Yeah, have at it.
So back in 2012, I was working with my pastor. We were trying to figure out how to do clean water. But we didn't want to just go in and do dig a well, all those nice, sweet sentiments. We actually had somebody who went to Liberia, like took samples of water, did testing, and I'm talking from wells, from other sources, and we found out people had access to water, but they didn't know what to do with clean water. So like some of the water still had things like when they would test it had like fecal matter still showing up in like deep wells. And so we took a series of filters over and did education with leaders so that they could empower other people to like use the filters in their communities and do this good work to get them clean water. But like out of all that, the reason I tell the story is not to say like, look at what I did over in Africa to go help some people. It's the fact that we reached out and found out what their story was, what their need was, how to come alongside them, help them, and empower them. And I can't talk about what Scripture says in John 4 when it says, drink of this water and you'll never go thirsty again. Christ saying, I'm the living water. If I'm talking to somebody who water is diseased or going to cause illness or harm, like I have to do what I can to care for the person first and make sure that their needs are met, make sure that they're seen and loved and valued. And if I do that work, then maybe I can talk about the gospel. But if I'm not meeting those needs, what story do I actually have to tell?
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Just another white savior trying to get brownie points.
Yep.
Have you ever seen the movie Saved? It is my favorite religious movie. It has Mandy Moore.
Yeah.
And I love it. It is the best. But it is hilarious and it's very comedy. But it kind of like, I feel like
wasn't there a line like, punch you in your tit for Jesus?
No, it was at one point she was fake speaking in tongues and it was like, my pussy is a hot pussy. But my favorite line ever, comedic line, came from Macaulay Culkin because they were watching the girl go into the Planned Parenthood, and the girl goes, there's only one reason why a Christian girl goes to the Planned Parenthood, and Macaulay Culkin goes, she's planting a pipe bomb? And she's like, okay, two reasons. But the whole movie, though, it's very that movement of just like the cool pastor that's doing flips on stage and the secular sounding music, but like the judgment of Mandy Moore's character and how she thinks she's doing everything right? She's following fucking God and everything, and she's like, everyone needs to be saved. It's all about saving and not about community. I feel like and at the end of it, you kind of do. You're like the kids that the girl who was the satanic goth girl, and Macaulay Culkin was the atheist, and the cool skateboarding pastor's son was actually the only one that was actually the acting Christian. Was like they were the real, the only ones that were acting like Christians, and they were
Samaritans.
They were going against everything supposedly that was they were the sinners, but they were the only ones that were acting Christ-like. So it's one of my favorite movies. I watch it like 2 times a year, probably more. It's just like it's a comfort thing. Like it's good. You remind me a lot of like the skateboarding son, not the asshole pastor that was cheating on me. Like he was. But it was a good movie.
My favorite religious movies are Jesus Camp and Marjo.
Okay.
I love the grifting of Marjo. He was a child preacher who was just in on the game as an adult and was like, hey, watch me grift all these people. Isn't this awesome? And then Jesus Camp was a horrifying look at what was to come.
Yeah.
And it happened. It was. Have you seen Jesus Camp?
No,
it's like 2004, 2005. It's a look at evangelical, like a homeschool camp. Ooh, no, it's real scary. Lots of warriors for Christ. Lots of praying for George W. Bush. Lots of
I
look
didn't
at
know
this
that it was
fetus.
like a prophetic future-telling message.
Oh, yeah. These kids are so insulated that nothing from the secular world will ever get through to them.
Yeah.
That was so sad.
And it's sort of true. Like, they either, like, have gone completely in or they're insane now. And then they had God, what was his name? The preacher that got caught doing gay things for meth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, why wouldn't you just do gay things for meth? Like, why you gotta, like, be mean? And, like the Vatican, like, there's so much cocaine in the Vatican, like, crazy shit. No, like, the cocaine busts that happen outside the Vatican are the rumors of cardinal cocaine sex orgies.
I can
with,
totally
like,
believe it. I can totally
male
believe
prostitutes is just like, what are you doing, man? Like, what is this? Like, how can you live with yourself?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, you're going to hell for this. And it's like, oh, what? You got a confessional on site so you can just, oh, I'm absolved. I'm not going to do that again. 3 days later, oh, man, I got a fixin'. I need them little boys and that cocaine. And it's like, what? Why can't you just do, why can't you just be a guy who's like, I really love cocaine and fucking boys? It's like, why you gotta tell everyone else it's bad? You know, like, I'm not a fan of cocaine or fucking boys, but like,
Yeah.
it's like, come on now. Like, why
Just be
can't you
honest
just,
about
like,
your
why
bullshit.
can't you? Because, like, Christ loved the fucking, the tax collectors, the prostitutes, everything else. Now, pansexual King Jesus.
Okay.
And my idea, and like one of the lines that everyone quotes that no one really like, they quote it for the weirdest reasons, like Kanye and shit. But Jesus wept. The idea that Jesus wept whenever Lazarus was dead. And I thought about that. That always bothered me as a kid because I'm like, he's going to raise him from the dead. Why is he crying about it? And as an adult, I'm like, I was really high one time and I went, what if Jesus and Lazarus were like boyfriends? And the reason why Jesus wept.
Whole line of thought around that.
Like,
Yeah, the
he
reason
rolled
why
around traveling with a bunch of dudes. There's
But
no
also
way
women.
that they didn't cuddle.
I think that Jesus was an equal opportunity person
No,
in that respect. Like, I think the whole idea of Mary Magdalene, but I also think the whole idea of Jesus, or not Jesus, Judas, kissing him on the mouth, I think, and you can tell me this is blasphemous all day, but I have a theory that Jesus and Judas were like real close like that. And Peter was jealous of it. Like, I think Peter got a little friend zoned, but Peter was going to be the best leader of a new church. And Judas loved Jesus so much that he had to fulfill the prophecy by selling him out. And that's why he killed himself, because he
Hear
knew.
me out. A Dawson's Creek version of the Bible. Imagine,
I don't
like,
know. I would
Okay,
get
yeah,
blown
okay.
up by a
I'm
pipe
with
bomb.
him on that.
Yeah, I'd get blown up by a pipe bomb.
I have
like
to
that.
encourage this.
You think I'd live? Like, I already got caltropped just for saying like milquetoast shit. Like, I love trans people. Maybe you shouldn't disparage poor people if you run a business. Like,
I mean, I really once made a post that said Jesus liked it up the butt. So, like, if there's a hell and it's real, I'm probably. This is definitely Patreon stuff. I'm sorry. This is not going to go on the episode.
did Jesus like that's a little more set. I believe that Jesus had the full spectrum of love, like every sort of love. Like, I think Jesus was a champion of every love that a human can do. But a lot of times, a lot of people will hear that and be like, oh, so he was like just fucking everybody. And it's like, no, I said love, not lust. I think
love, there's
Yeah.
what is that? Agape? Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
agape, but there's also
agape
eros.
love is what he had. It was serving. It was.
But I
serve
also think he had
love.
eros.
I think that's
Agape
what-
love
yeah.
comes out of that sense of like
Service.
unconditional. Like,
Yes.
it's not based on like lust. It's not based on the sense of like I'm reaching for or going for something. It's really like just out of like I have this unconditional sense of love.
Yep, and I think Jesus was a champion of that. But I also think Jesus, like he might have had boyfriends and girlfriends. Like, I think that, but I think that's like a full spectrum of humanity. And like the problem is, I think a lot of people get lost in this idea of like lust dehumanizing people, because it does.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he was a fan of sex workers, because they were dehumanized by other people's lust. That's why he told somebody to pluck their own eyes out if they can't stop staring at a woman.
And originally, though, the Virgin Mary wasn't really a virgin when it started out. She really wasn't. Like,
no, she was a virgin until after Jesus was born.
No,
Then there were other brothers
yes,
and
but like
sisters.
that's why they wrote out a bunch of the stuff about his brother, because they didn't want her to be like. I mean, the way I understood it was that like it wasn't that she was an immaculate it wasn't like that it was immaculate conception. That it was just that like I don't know. Like I was reading something about it, and it was like they didn't.
It was aliens, dog.
What was aliens?
Yeah, it was aliens.
Jesus
So they did
is
my
an
mom
alien?
too.
Or Sasquatch.
Well, I mean, I just think
they're the same
they
thing,
really went full with how virginous she was, though, later on in later years with
Well, the
Mary,
Catholics
though.
really buckled
Yes,
down on that to the
yes.
point where she was a forever virgin.
Yes,
And it's like, what was Joseph doing then?
That's what I mean.
Is Joseph a forever virgin? Where's Joseph's virginity in all this? Who was he out banging? You
They
know,
kind of like let everything. Yeah, they kind of just were like, no, we're gonna pretend that she was
demonizing
this-
sex.
Yep.
Especially women.
Jesus doing any healing miracles, coming up to Mary Magdalene, writing in the dirt. Nobody knows what he actually wrote, but everybody like drops their stones and walks away. Like everything that Jesus did about the work was like trying to restore people back to being able to be a full part of society,
A full person.
rather than this thing of like, oh, you're a sex worker. No, like who wrote that Jesus?
No,
Like, it's not in the scripture.
I totally ship Jesus and Mary Magdalene, though.
I do too, but I also ship Jesus and Judas a little bit, and Jesus and Lazarus.
We shipped Jesus and Mary Magdalene and Judas and Lazarus.
All at the same time. I think that's a. I think the apostles being a polycule is a little. It's interesting. Like the whole idea of being fishers of men is kind of, but like honestly, it doesn't actually matter. Like you said, the story, it holds this truth that's beyond what it says in paper. Like
Can I throw you two short stories?
exactly, but then I think we got to go.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
We do got to go.
We
Two short stories.
Two short
Two
stories.
short
Let's do it.
Yeah, first one is I served communion here a month ago, and one of the guys who came to the service ended up saying, Kyle, I'm an atheist. Actually, I believe in science and philosophy. But when you gave the call for communion, I actually felt like I was welcome to come up and not pressured. He grew up in the Catholic Church, walked away from it. To say that the work that we're doing here is restoring a person's ability to come to a table and receive this thing that I call grace, that you experience grace and welcome in coming up to receive whatever it is, whether in that moment it has this like deep spiritual meaning or if it's the fulfillment of like, I get to be a whole part of this thing, then I think we're doing our job right if someone like that gets to show up. The other is a person, I'll say their name when we're off camera, but